Okay guys, so the recipe calls for, and I figured I would make my own video as well, to do it how you guys are going to end up doing it. So the recipe calls for 1 cup of flour, so I'm putting it in, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and they want you to mix it up together. So mix, mix, mix the salt and the flour. Mix, 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 mix in your bowl. Okay. There we go. Go ahead and add your oil to your water. Okay. So that was 1.5 tablespoons of oil and 6 tablespoons of water. Okay. I would recommend warm water. I'm mixing the oil and water together. Of course, it doesn't come together all the way, but it does kind of break up a little bit. You want to pour it in and mix at the same time, which is kind of hard, but mix and pour slowly your oil and water mixture. And then here comes the fun part. You're going to end up using your hand. So I'm going to get a good mix started. So this is what mine looks like now. It's kind of crummy. And then I'm going to take it off with my spoon. And then get in there. Okay, so I mix the flour and the salt together. And then you're going to take my ring off. And then get in there with my hand. So I'm like mixing, pulling it to the board or to the bowl. Mix, 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 mix. Yeah. Mixing it all up until it becomes one nice flour ball. So this might take like, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes of mixing, but you can see it's starting to come together. It's not that sticky. All the extra flour is falling off, so you will have a little bit of extra. But I'm kind of like punching it and flipping it and punching it and flipping it. And then once it's like all not on your bowl anymore, you see how my bowl's pretty clean? I would set your bowl to the side and just use your hands and mix it up. It kind of feels like really soft Play-Doh, like pillowy Play-Doh. And if yours ends up being a little sticky, like if it's sticking to your hands, just add a little bit of flour. When I say add a little bit of flour, you can get like a sprinkling and sprinkle it on. Okay? And actually, I told you to go ahead and warm up your pan. You can turn it off because this dough actually has to sit for 15 minutes covered up. So I'm going to get a little tea towel, like a kitchen cloth pretty much, a clean one. Get a kitchen cloth and your little ball looks like this. Yeah? So then you want to set it on your towel, and you can use paper towels as well. And then you just cover it up for 15 minutes, okay? Okay, it's been 15 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my heat on medium on my pan that I had. And in the video, they say to split your dough into eighths, but I already have the recipe. So here's my dough after it rested. This is what mine looks like. But it said split it into eighths, but I have the recipe, so I think this can only make like 4 tortillas. Okay, so I'm gonna just give it a good knead again, just to get it all happy. Put it on my ball on the counter. I'm gonna use a regular knife, and I'm gonna go and cut it in half, like pizza, and then cut it in half again. So it looks like this. See? Half and half. So now you have little tiny sections. So each of these are going to end up being a tortilla. But I know that a lot of you don't have rolling pins at home. FYI, this is a rolling pin. But if you don't have a rolling pin, don't fret, because I think everybody has like a can of beans at home, right? So I'm going to set 3 of my pieces to the side, and I'm going to roll this one section into a little ball. And one of the things about making tortillas is that you want to have a lightly floured surface. When I say lightly floured, you're going to sprinkle your countertop with some flour, and I like to just dust it around. But you also want to roll it really, really thin, like impressively thin. So here's my little ball. I'm going to roll it out with my can. Don't worry if it gets stuck to your can. Roll it off, turn it a different way. Peel it off, turn it a different way. And keep going. Like pizza, I guess. So it doesn't make a really large tortilla, so heads up, so don't like get discouraged if your tortilla is not like 10 inches. And you can hold on to one side of your tortilla if that helps, and roll it out, and then kind of rotate it and do the same thing in a different direction. Alright, I will tell, and I'll be able to tell if you guys made your tortillas from scratch, because they are not going to be circles. Let me tell you, because mine is definitely not a circle. So don't try to pull something out of a little container and say, ta-da, Miss White, I made this tortilla. No, thank you. Alright, I'm going to turn my heat up a bit on my pan, and I'm going to put it in the pan. So here is my tortilla in the pan. Then you're going to roll it out with your can, spin it around. If it gets stuck to the can, don't worry, just peel it off. Try to roll it as thin as possible. So I'm putting a little pressure on it. So I think I'm going to try to make this one thinner than the first one. So I'm pressing a lot harder with my can. So just so you guys can see the rolling action. Alright, this one's a bit bigger than the last one, but I think that's as thin as I'm going to get it. Peel it off, pop it on my smoking hot pan. Can you guys hear that? So let's see if we can get this one to bubble. Let's see how fast it bubbles. Got some bubble action happening already. I've turned the temperature down to medium high, so that's high, that's medium. I did medium high, and I'll do all of the other two on there, and I'll take a picture so you guys can see the difference, okay?